Today our session is about the relationship between our diet and our mental health, how they are affected positively and negatively. But before I start, I would like you to tell me, when I say the word diet, and here you can actually answer me, every one of you, what is the first idea that pops into your mind? What is the first feeling that pops inside your mind? Can anyone tell me?
Me.
Anna, I feel it's losing weight.
Okay, and when you say, Cynthia, losing weight, is it usually a positive thing or a negative thing? It's related to that you're feeling better, you're losing weight, or is it related to some frustrations or insecurities or...
أنا بس فكر فيها بحس إنه it's a positive thing
Okay,
إنه losing
so that's
weight.
great. Okay, so you link diet to a positive thinking, positive attitude, something good for your life.
Yes, I guess.
Okay, that's great. Anyone else? Okay, so usually diet, if it's linked to a positive thing, it's a great thing, because the word diet doesn't really mean frustration, doesn't really mean deprivation, doesn't really mean what is food that is not allowed or food that is allowed. It doesn't mean any negative feelings. The word diet means actually, someone needs to tell me something. Okay, so the word diet actually should mean a type and quality of food that every person should follow depending on his medical file or medical review. Okay, and it's not related to weight loss. You could follow a special eating plan if you have diabetes. You could follow a special eating plan if you're pregnant. You can follow a special eating plan if just a second, Carl, mommy, please. Okay. Mommy, thank you, but you should leave me alone here, okay? Sorry, my son is... I know, mommy. You can sit only and listen, okay? So we were saying that the diet should only be a healthy plan that you follow depending on every case. Carl, stop it, mommy. Sorry, just a second. Okay, so I guess this happened with you a lot during your Zoom calls during work. So your kids pop in during the session. So
yes, so we all relate. Don't worry about this.
Okay, so I was saying that actually diet should be the any person that follow a certain meal plan that is suitable for her own body depending on his body situation. حسب إذا عنده أمراض صحية or if he just want to lose weight or anything else. Okay, so this is one thing. Another sorry. Okay, so the other thing is, what is mental health? Mental health is something, it's how it is our emotions, it is our mental health, it is physiological, emotional, sociable. Okay, so whenever we're not okay with ourselves, we cannot actually when we
I don't
sorry,
I don't look.
Sorry. Okay, there.
Someone just joined and apparently they didn't mute their mic. That's why you're hearing voices.
Okay, it's fine. So yeah. I was saying about mental health. So mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So it is how we feel, we act, how we interact with our community around us, our family, our friends, and our workplace. So if we're not mentally well, we will have a lot of maybe problems, maybe anger while talking, maybe we will do some spontaneous reactions which are not positive and leave a negative mark on our relationships with our friends. Okay, and it will actually directly affect our work productivity. We will not be able to realize our full potential in our life, in our work, or as moms. Okay, and it's also will reflect on how we cope with the daily stresses that we have in our life. So it's very important during these 28 days of self-love, actually to take care of ourselves in order to be able to take care of our mental health and to be able to support the people around us and support ourselves. So to return to the subject, diet can affect, I started that diet can affect positively and negatively our emotional health. How can it affect negatively our emotional health? To start with we start with the negative or the positive, you think? I start with the negative. I'll start with the negative because what I see around me is people coming to do diets with frustration in their minds. People coming to follow a plan. They want a restrictive plan. They want to lose weight fast. They want to reach their goal very fast. They aim for maybe sometimes crash diets.
I'm sorry, Rouba. Someone said in the comments, staying away from toxic people.
Yes, of course. That's very important. If you stay away from toxic people, it will affect, because toxic people sometimes will affect your mental health and how you will be able to, it affects you in several ways, and you should learn how to say no, or leave these people out of your life. And someone before also wrote that diet equals lifestyle. Yasmin, you're totally correct. Diet, it means a healthy lifestyle, following a healthy eating plan. Okay, I just opened here the box of chat. So if you would like to write anything on the chat box, you're free to do that. I'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so we were saying that diet can affect us negatively if we think of it as a deprivation thing. If we follow fad diets mean diets that are trendy, but diets that actually will not help me reach a healthy state to be able to function well and reach my health goal, whether it's weight or whether it is a medical problem. Okay, so this is why diet, if it's not followed in a healthy way, in a non-personalized way, or we take any form of eating plan that we found online or our friends did it, or anything that is actually trendy on social media and we do it, it may affect us negatively. Sometimes food in itself can be a trigger for bad mental health, because we will deprive our bodies from certain vitamins, certain minerals. Even when we follow maybe high protein diets and low carb diets, remember our brain, the basic, actually the fuel of our brain is carbohydrates. And if there's not enough carbohydrates in our blood and in our system, our brains are going to feel a lot of stress, and this is going to show through our activity, daily activity. We'll not be able to focus. We will have migraines. We will have headaches. We'll be moody. We will be maybe edgy when we're talking to people and when we're talking to our children. Okay, so this will affect us in many other ways. Sometimes when we follow also plans that don't have a lot of eating plans which doesn't have a lot of fruits, it will affect our immunity. We'll have low immune system, which will get us to be sick. And when we're sick, it will affect us indirectly in our health and mental state. Okay, so this is why following a bad eating plan that is not suitable for you, yes, can affect your mental health. So let us start by actually normalizing food, and this is very important. Okay, all food is good. All food is good, will give us some kind of nutrients for our body, but we have to do everything in moderation and balanced way, which means sometimes we like to eat maybe let us say unhealthy food. Okay, I'm going to give an example. Maybe we like to eat sometimes fried food, we like to eat chocolate, we like to eat fatty food, which is maybe not very rich in nutrients and vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, but it gives us a pleasure. Okay, maybe a pleasure in our society with our friends, sharing food, enjoying life, enjoying time. So we should not actually ban these food, but we should keep them like 20% in our life, not more than that, to preserve our health. Okay, so instead of banning them and having guilt feelings every time we eat this type of food, we should normalize them and include them in a balanced and moderate way in our life, and not actually binge on them. Okay, this will help us a lot actually in order to stop the guilt feeling with food. Okay, so normalize all the food, even if the food is not really healthy for you, just actually include it moderately inside your life. Whenever we and when I say to normalize food is actually also sometimes some diet plans will actually let you fear carbs, fear sugars, fear fruits, fear pasta, fear bread, and this is not good, because every time you want to eat bread you will feel guilty, every time you want to eat pasta you will feel guilty, and this should not happen. Okay, because if you follow a low carb diet you will reach a place where you will actually binge, because your blood sugars will go down, and this will affect you negatively. So this is an example of how can food directly affect your mood and mental health. Okay, and it will make you feel angry, edgy, etc. So if we want to actually start small baby steps, let us keep our talk positive. This is why I want to talk about small baby steps, how we can actually let our food and diet influence our mental health in a positive way. One, we should start by actually any questions? No. Okay. Okay, so eating well actually will help you feel better. Why? Because if you eat the 5 food groups that are available, the fruits, the vegetables, the protein, which is from animal source and from plant source like beans, fish, meat, and chicken, eating dairy products and eating grain food like oats, wheat, rice, pasta, potatoes, etc., will help you have a balanced nutrients inside your body, and your body will function properly. Okay, so first we should eat from all the 5 food groups. 2, we should eat regularly. Try not to miss meals. You should actually have at least 3 main meals per day and two snacks to keep your blood sugars constant. It means whenever you wake up, you have 2 hours to start fueling your brain. Does anyone need to ask me a question? Okay, I'll move on. Okay, so I was saying that to eat regular enough to miss meals. Here comes the question. We are bombarded now, every time we open social media or Google or the internet in general, we are bombarded with the intermittent fasting, correct? Who has an input about intermittent fasting? Has any one of you tried to do intermittent fasting? Please. Okay, please, someone has his mic on.
Yes, please, if we can just mute them, because we can't really listen.
Okay, Yasmin here tried the 14-10 intermittent fasting. Okay, so usually let me make it clear. There is no scientific evidence that intermittent fasting actually will help you lose weight, because the body actually needs to be fueled in order to burn. Okay, because your system needs energy to break down the calories, needs energy to break down the fat, because these are systems that work, okay, and that needs fuel to be working well. Studies have proven, on the other hand, I'll continue my sentence and I'll give you the chance to ask me something. So, scientific evidence has proved that intermittent fasting actually will help you regulate some hormones inside your body, and it will help you control insulin. And there's a lot of studies about intermittent fasting and starving cancer cells. But on the other hand, intermittent fasting to starve cancer cells should go more than 24 hours. Okay, Rahaf, you wanted to ask a question? You can unmute your microphone and ask me the question.
Yes, dear. It worked for me. After I had my second baby, I lost around 16 to 17 kgs, and I was eating everything because I cannot follow a restricted diet. So that really helped.
Okay.
So, but what you're saying is also scientific, but how did it work for me?
Okay. Actually, it worked because you reduced your calorie intake. Because if you used to, let's say, if you used to snack all night after you put your child to sleep, and you stop that, of course you will start losing weight. Because there are a lot of people that eat healthy throughout the day, but reach nighttime, they put their kids to sleep, they sit down in front of the TV, and they start snacking. So if you stop this and you keep on eating the healthy food that you eat throughout the day, you will be able to lose weight. So the weight loss, it's because you reduce the calories. It's not because you fasted. Okay. Sometimes the long periods of fasting can help you reduce insulin if you had insulin resistance at that time. Yes, but of course it will not solve it unless you reduce the quantity of food that you're eating. And Rahaf, did you feel that you ate less than usually eat when you were on an intermittent fasting plan?
Sorry, it disconnected. Can you repeat the question?
I was asking you, did you feel that while you were on an intermittent fasting plan, you felt that you reduced the quantity of food? You were not deprived of any quality, but in quantity, did you eat less than what you used to eat?
I think, yeah, because I had to complete the 15 to 16 hours.
Okay.
I had to complete them. So as you said, we have a limited time to eat. Okay, so as you said, maybe, we were restricted by, the food intake, the amount of food. So, and it worked.
Sorry, yes, it worked for you, and which means that your body is a healthy body. Okay, so actually it worked on the intermittent fasting plan because it was working well. So when you reduce the quantity of food, you were able to lose weight. And now, are you able to sustain this weight loss, Rahaf?
Yes, alhamdulillah, thank God. I'm always losing. I never gained since I gave birth, because I just I set it in mind. Yeah, it was a target. It was my goal. To reach the same weight that I was before I had my 2 kids. Okay. I still have around 6 kgs. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to Ramadan. It is the real fasting. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Rahaf. What's important now from this experience, Rahaf, is when you lost a big amount of weight with intermittent fasting, but what's most important now is that you maintain a healthy eating plan and maintain the weight that you lost. And when I say a healthy eating plan, is to make sure at least that you have 1 or 2 fruits a day, that you're eating at least 1 salad a day, that you're having a good quality of carbs inside your meals at least 3 times a day. Okay, that you vary your food between beans, fish, chicken, and meat whenever you're eating, and reduce the unhealthy food or junk food to a minimum of to a maximum, let's say, of 2 to 3 times per week to keep your body healthy, or to a very small amount every day, but in really small amounts. Okay, so instead of depriving yourself, just disperse the unhealthy food and limit the quantities, and this is how you can maintain your healthy weight. Okay, I have here Shamim Khatri. When we diet and after losing about 6 to 7 kilograms, at some point the body stops losing weight. Why does this happen? Okay, so actually the body sometimes block whenever we give it a very low calorie plan, okay, because it reaches a point where it feels it's deprived and it will stop actually losing the weight. Okay, so in order to reinitiate weight loss, just increase a bit the food that you're eating, the healthy food that you're eating, and disperse the eating. Start eating 2 hours from the time you wake up, and every 2 to 3 hours, eat a small meal. And this is how you can initiate weight loss again. Sometimes I face it with my patients. I write an eating plan, personalized eating plan. They start doing it. With time, they will stop following the details about the plan, and they will start like what do we call يقدروا يعني they start like eating like the plan but not exactly the plan, And they will start changing the quantity of macros and the calories inside of it. And I feel they block. But whenever they estimating, sorry, they start estimating. Thank you. They start estimating. So whenever you reach, whenever they go back strictly to counting the macros and the micros well, which they don't feel they're doing it, because I write the plan in a very simple way, which you find it inside your how we buy food, how we order food, etc. So I plan it in micro and macro, but what they see is simple food around them from home, and etc. Okay, so this is how actually we initiate the weight loss again. We go back on the quantity that our body needs. 2, we don't undereat for sure, and we disperse the food as much as we want. And we should not forget actually one very important thing. Diet and activity goes hand in hand. I know that when you want to lose weight, it's mostly the diet that helps you lose weight, but activity will help you preserve your muscle mass while losing weight. And muscle mass is actually the basic organ and the biggest organ that will burn calories inside your body. So if you preserve your muscle mass, you will have a good metabolic rate, and you will have a healthy body to not only lose the weight, but actually later on maintain the weight loss while enjoying your food and enjoying life. And this is here we reach a point when I want to link diet with mental health, that our eating lifestyle is very important for our positive mood. And this is why we should not let go of our social eating and of our social meals that we have. Okay, so whenever we share a meal, it's a very important thing. So this is why we should learn how to eat normally and not always follow a strict restrictive plan. Okay, so eating and sharing food always has a very positive effect on our mental health. Why? When we share food with people, the first thing, we eat slowly. When we eat slowly, we eat less. 2, whenever we share food with people, we talk about our feelings, we talk about our projects, we talk about what we did throughout the day. We share our emotions, our moods, and when you share, you feel better. So this is why I always say it's better actually to learn how to eat. Even if you want to lose weight, you should learn how to eat in restaurants. You should learn how to choose your food when you're invited to people's house. You should not restrict yourself only to eating from home or eating from diet boxes. Okay, you should learn how to eat from everything in moderation to be able to keep this social act of eating together. And on another note, as a family, since it's Mumz Academy, sharing a meal as a family at least once a day or 2 or 3 times a week is very essential, very, very, very essential for your emotional growth and your children's emotional growth and your family in general. Why? Because emotional health is not only for adults. Children also have emotional health. Adolescents have emotional health, and sitting on one table sharing a meal and talking about what happened throughout the day is very important. Okay, also sitting on one table and sharing food will help parents model healthy eating in front of their kids. So this also will initiate healthy eating for the kids, which will in return also have a positive impact on their mental health, and will indirectly support their mental health by discussing and talking about your day and what happened throughout the day. So it's very important to keep this social act of sharing a meal, give it a place in our lives most of the time. I have a question from Fatima. What are the best healthy diet food for skin and hair health? Okay. I will keep this till the end. Helps in regulating the hormones. Can it help in the postpartum breastfeeding phase? My body, unlike many, doesn't lose weight while breastfeeding. I read that it might be due to hormonal changes. Okay, some people here, Yasmin, she's telling me about she has actually difficulty of losing weight postpartum. And it's of course due to hormonal disbalance. But Yasmin, you should check with your doctor to check your thyroid, because usually the thyroid can change after pregnancy, and you should check your insulin levels after that. And from there, you can decide what should be done. But intermittent fasting, if you're breastfeeding, will not actually really help, okay, your breastfeeding. And here we should prioritize our goals after we give birth. So one, we should be able to breastfeed. Breastfeeding well will indirectly help you lose weight, okay? So it's better to assess with your doctor if there is a medical problem before stepping into intermittent fasting. But I don't advise intermittent fasting with breastfeeding and postpartum, okay? Because it will initiate a lot of stress on your body, which you're not in need of. You have a lot now handling, so don't go for it, okay? So we talked about how can diet positively affect our mental health. Okay, we talked about social eating. I want to also talk about people that actually use food as a negative coping mechanism to deal with their emotional pain. So diet does affect how we feel, of course, our mood. Sometimes we feel happy if we eat chocolate, but afterward the guilt feeling will pop up. Sometimes we feel happy to share a fatty meal, but our guilt feeling is gonna eat us afterwards. We feel happy, maybe sometimes we feel guilty directly because we wish to eat another meal, an unhealthy meal, and this is not good actually. I see people they express their anger against themselves, and they express their emotions يعني بحسهم عم ينتقموا من حالهم as if with the food. So people sometimes who have some problems and they're using food as a negative coping mechanism actually to suppress an emotion, or they use food to actually keep their mouth shut, not expressing themselves. I mean, this is where we start actually having some eating disorders. Okay, so using food to keep ourselves from expressing ourselves, using food in order not to feel some pain, نقاصص حالنا بأكل لأنه نحن ما بنستاهل. This is where when this thing keeps on repeating, actually we reach a state where we can have like an eating disorder syndrome. Okay, we will not actually feel directly, and it's not going to be directly we can have an eating disorder, but using this as a coping mechanism will reach a place where you will have like an eating disorder syndrome, and if you don't realize it and stop it, you will reach a phase where it becomes a disease and not anymore a syndrome or a disorder. Okay, so it's very important to start normalizing food in order not to use them as a coping mechanism. Normalize every type of food. Okay, there's no bad food and good food. There is food that will nourish our bodies, and there is food that is very tasty and it's very pleasurable to eat, but on the other hand, it will not actually nourish our body. So instead of putting them in two boxes, good and bad, let us put food under an umbrella where we say this food will help me grow, will help me stay healthy, will help me boost my immunity, will help me have a healthy mental health, will help me have a good heart, will help me grow good bones, healthy muscles, good skin. I'm going to answer the question about hair and skin. Okay, and the other type of food, it makes me happy. Yes, I can socialize while eating this type of food. I enjoy it. It's tasty. It explodes in my mind. The taste, the fat in our minds, and the fat on our actually tongue does an explosive taste in our mind, because our body like to taste the fat, like to taste sugar, because like to taste spicy food, like to taste the strong tasty food. And this is why we cope it with a good emotion. We actually link it to a good emotion, and this is why you should accept this and embrace it and keep them inside your life, but keep them in a moderate and balanced way. This is all what I'm asking. Okay, so one, we try to include more of the healthy food in our eating plan. What are the healthy foods? When we talk about healthy food, I said it to 5 food groups. If we open the net, we will see a lot of superfoods. When we open, we see in the fruits, there's the, let's say, the berries, the kiwi, the pineapple, okay? But actually, if you want the real truth, every fruit is a superfood, but every fruit will give you a certain nutrient and a certain benefit, okay? So whenever you want, if you want my advice, actually you should eat fruits as much as possible during the season, where it will be the highest in its nutrient that it is rich in. Okay, if, for example, if you eat an orange in winter, it will be the highest in vitamin C and the highest in water. If you eat a banana or a raspberry or red fruits during its season, it will be the highest in antioxidant. But if you buy fruits which are not in season, most of them are grown in greenhouses, and they are not under the sun, and maybe the quality of soil is not really good. So it's better to eat fruits and vegetables also in season, where they are highest in quality. On another note, if you live in a country where actually most of the fruits and vegetables are important and there's really no season, what's a good thing to go for is actually frozen fruits and frozen vegetables whenever you don't find them. Because whenever we freeze fruits and vegetables, we freeze them in season. It means if it's now the season of peas, bazella, okay? It is now that the industry will actually, they will have the highest amount of through agriculture, and they will pick them up and freeze them because it's mawsam, yani they will have the biggest amount during this season, and this is where they will freeze, okay? And this is the cheapest in production. This is why they will freeze it in season and not out of season, and it will retain the most amount of nutrients. Frozen vegetables and fruits are good because they are frozen actually during 24 hours, and they preserve the most amount of nutrients. When we pick a fruit or a vegetable, the more time it stays outside the freezer or in a refrigerator, every day that passes, the vitamin and mineral content will be decreased. The antioxidant content in it will be decreased. So this is why the fresher the product, the better the health benefit of it. Okay. When we talk also about mental health, so we said fruits and vegetables in season. What about proteins? Proteins, it's not only meat, fish, and chicken. Proteins are also based in plants, and this is the healthiest kind of protein that you can have. Beans, lentils, chickpeas, okay, peas, edamame, soybeans. All types of beans have a good amount of protein. It's not high, but it has a good amount of protein. And if you do the combination of the beans together, you will have a complete protein and several amino acids, which are essential for our mental health. This is why when you're choosing your proteins, put like a scale. The first best protein option you're going to choose that will benefit you and will not lead to a negative health effect is beans, okay? The second one is fish, because it has a great source of animal fat, which is omega-3 and omega-6, okay, which is very essential for our brain development and our neurotransmitters. The third one is the chicken, because it's low in saturated fat, okay? And third is red meat, because red meat is actually not associated with cancer, with heart disease, etc. So the red meat is the last choice when we're choosing our protein, but protein should be part of our daily eating plan, okay? Third, dairy product. Dairy product is a bit controversial because some people have lactose intolerance, or they are dairy intolerant. They have some allergic reactions, or they have some intolerances around dairy. So when we say dairy, What do we usually take from this group? We take calcium, we take potassium, and we take proteins. Okay, these are and vitamin D. Okay, because they are actually fortified with vitamin D, the dairy products. So when we talk about this group, it's essential that if you are obliged to avoid this group, to make sure that you are getting the benefits of this group from another place. Yes, sometimes we are obliged to remove a food group from our eating plan, but we should replace it and ask for help to see how we can replace it actually. And so we'll not have any nutrient deficiency in our bodies, okay? Carbohydrates, normalize them, please. They are not a food to fear. They should be part of our healthy lifestyle, but on the other hand, choose grains that are whole. Instead of eating white bread, take whole bread. Instead of using white pasta, use whole grain pasta. Note here for moms, children under 9 years should not follow a very high fiber diet. It should be moderate in fiber because their intestines cannot absorb the nutrients and vitamins in a very efficient way yet. So we wait till they're over 9 years to increase the fiber content, because below 9 years actually, they are getting their fiber from the fruits, from the vegetables, from the cooked beans that you are providing. They are getting the fibers from some whole grain food, like if you do a porridge or some oats in the morning for your kids, they're getting some fiber, but just don't make sure that not all their grains are whole for the absorption of nutrients and vitamins and minerals, what I mean by it. Okay, and I guess this is all about the food groups. I want to also end the session before answering your questions about other ways to take care of our mental health. Yes, food affects our mental health positively and negatively. So we should make sure, one, not to choose a frustrating eating plan, to choose a plan that fits our lifestyle, choose a plan that is moderate and balanced in all the food, choose a plan that suits our lifestyle and makes us happy following it, and makes us feel that actually it fits in our lifestyle. We're not frustrated to follow it. Every day I follow this plan, I feel healthier, I feel I can sleep better, I feel I can be productive, I feel I can be supportive for my family. I have enough energy to conquer and rule the world. Okay, so this is what you should feel wherever you are following a healthy eating plan. A healthy eating plan is one thing to have a healthy mental have healthy mental health. Okay, but also staying active also helps us follow and reach a healthy mental state. Sleeping well helps us reach a healthy mental state. 3, avoiding binging on cigarettes, alcohol, and other stimulants and coffee, okay, in our life, because binging on coffee, cigarettes, and alcohol will affect negatively our mental health. Here, for all moms that are addicted to coffee to keep on going, I know with the sleepless nights and with the hectic program that we put every day to deal with our work, our children, our lifestyle, our friends, and everything, sometimes we tend to increase a lot the amount of caffeine that we take per day. And this can affect our energy levels drastically without us noticing. Some people start with like 2 shots of coffee in the morning, and you should learn something. Whenever you take caffeine, it's true that your energy level will go up, but every time you take a higher dose of caffeine, the lowest the energy will go down after the effect goes away. For example, if you start with 1 shot of coffee, your energy is going to go up and then down to normal. But if you start with 2 shots of coffee, the energy is going to go up really high and go down lower than when we started. So this is why instead of taking a lot of coffee in one place, you should disperse the coffee that you drink throughout the day. And what's recommended for adults is actually maximum of 3 coffee per day. And this 3 portions of coffee, servings of coffee a day, and this includes also the tea that you drink. Okay, the caffeine, because tea also has caffeine inside of it. So it's very important to take account also if you're having other types of tea like green tea, red tea, black tea, white tea, they also have caffeine inside. Okay, matcha, they have high amounts of coffee inside. So be careful. So limit the amount of caffeine you drink. You will feel more energetic, believe me. It will take time, reduce them bit by bit, disperse them well, stay hydrated, exercise, and eat healthy. These are my recommendations. Now I'm gonna keep some time for questions. Actually, we still have a maximum of 10 minutes. There's a question about, okay, let me see, sorry.
Rouba, just since you were just saying a quick conclusion on the topic,
Yes.
I just want to ask you, we heard your opinion when it comes to a nutritionist, but
Yes.
from one mother to another, what is your piece of advice to every mom here? You know how we live, how our lifestyle, how it is, and you know how it is when we have kids and trying to juggle between our work and our everyday tasks and our kids. So what is your one advice to us from one mother to another?
From one mother to another, my first advice is to take care of yourselves and put yourself as a priority. When you put yourself as a priority and you are able to function well, you will be able to support your kids and your family. But if you didn't take good care of yourself, you will not be able to take care neither of your kids nor your family, and you will start we start like not accomplishing everything we want in our work, in our life, with our family, with our friends, with our kids. We will be irritable, we will be angry, we will be edgy, we will be not ourselves. So I believe we should put ourselves as a priority, and it's not something, it's not selfish. I believe that it's not selfish at all for moms to put themselves as a priority, to be able to take care of themselves, and then they will be able to take care of everyone. So there are a lot of strategies to reach that, and every person is different from the other. But I would tell you, love yourselves, take good care of yourselves, and this is how you'll be able to take care of your family. Sometimes, if you want to really bring up healthy children and good children, I believe that the most important thing is role modeling. So if you take care of yourself, your children will learn to take care of themselves. If you eat healthy, your children will learn how to eat healthy. If you are active and exercise, your children will be active and exercise. Even if they don't reflect that directly now, with time, your children will go back to do whatever you used to do in your own life. So take good care of yourself, put yourself as a priority. You are the role model, and every mom is the base of every home for me. The mom will support, is the support system. So take good care of yourselves.
Thank you, Rouba. I think this requires a lot of practice.
Yes, it does, but it's important to actually take a decision to put yourself as a priority and take good care of yourself. Okay, and every mom here with us today should put herself as a priority. I don't know if you agree. If you agree, raise your hands. Okay, so I don't know if I answered all your questions. All of them raised their hands. Okay, thank you all. So you agree. Personal experience, okay. Okay, so let us start, all of us, starting today, to put ourselves as a priority and work on our healthy eating habits, work on our activity level, work on ourselves to be a better person in a good mental health state, to be able to take care of everyone around us and be the support system that we want to be.
Amazing.
Thank you, Rouba.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyone?
There is a question. Unhealthy diets have been linked to an increased risk of dementia or stroke. Is it true? Yes, of course, actually, because if you have a high fatty diet that causes, let's say, high cholesterol levels in the blood, which causes inflammation in the arteries, it will cause stroke, and stroke can cause dementia. Dementia is also caused by dehydration. Okay, elderly people who are dehydrated can go into a very short phase of dementia until their hydration status is changed and balanced, and they will. Yes, of course, it's true that the unhealthy eating causes dementia and stroke. What about using food when you feel bored, especially after quarantine? Actually, food is a very good coping strategy with a lot of things. Actually, we use it as a coping strategy, but it doesn't mean it's the solution, because after that, a lot of guilt feeling and bad habits appear after it. So instead, when you're bored, actually search for really something that will fill up your time, and maybe call a friend, put some music on, find something to do. But of course, food is not always the answer. So food is to fuel, to enjoy, but in certain time during the day, not all the time. There's one more question I didn't answer it. I guess it's about skin and hair.
Yes, it's what are the best healthy diet food for skin and hair health?
Okay, usually skin and hair. Let me explain something. The hair is made out of protein, and it needs a lot of vitamins and minerals. Okay, and the skin is made up of mostly fat, water, of course, vitamins and minerals to keep the clarity. So whenever we're really thinking of a healthy hair and skin, first you should make sure we are maintaining a good quantity of protein throughout the day to keep our hair and the skin quality good. A good amount of fat, which is 25 to 30% in our diet, to actually support our skin and keep it fluffy. And the third, good hydration status, because it will keep our skin hydrated, and hydrated skin is not flaky. It's moist. It's soft. Okay, it's not flaky. So hydration, good amount of fat, normal amount of fat, 25 to 30% of our diets, and eating enough protein. This is why when people undergo actually weight loss surgeries like bariatric surgery, like sleeve or gastric bypass, etc., they lose weight fast if you see them. But actually, if they don't follow a medical healthy plan according to the protocol of the surgery, they will lose hair. Their skin is gonna become dull and flaky, and you feel they are like borderline sick, because actually they are deprived from a lot of vitamins and minerals and macronutrients because they're only following a restrictive eating plan, which is low in calories. But this is why when you want to actually lose weight, my advice to you is keep it balanced, keep it varied, and keep it moderate in everything. And this is how you preserve your health. Okay. Also, if you have any hair and skin problems, it's always good to run some blood tests and check with dermatologists, because sometimes it could be that you have a certain deficiency that is causing that, or sometimes maybe it's a hormonal problem, or sometimes maybe it's maybe a type of skin disease or hair disease that is. So it will not go unnoticed. So don't just take everything lightly. Always taking the medical advice of your doctor is a very way to start.
Amazing.
I guess I answered everything.
Yeah, yes, amazing. Thank you so much, Rouba, for this amazing session, and thank you everyone for joining. Of course, you can always reach out to Rouba on our academy. I will send the link now in the chat box. Sent. And again, thank you so much, Rouba, and I hope you have a good night.
Thank you a lot for everyone for joining. I really appreciate it. Hope you benefited from the session. Thank you, Sarah, and thank you, Melissa, for this opportunity. And thank you, Mumz World, also for having me on your expert panel. Okay? Thank you a lot. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Rouba. Thank you.